decades ago, back when solar power was a novelty. You need a relatively larger surface to supply just a tiny electronic operation. All the solar power devices in the early days must have an unmistakably grayish panels of solar cell, most notably on the calculator. Today, we'll take a look at this Casio AL-190 series, which at first I thought they must be from the 80s. But after some googling, I find that the series was launched in 2011 with design inspiration from the AL-180, the real relic from the 1980s. In these two pieces, around half of the dial is dedicated to a solar panel. It resembles the design language from the era that you have to show off solar panel on your device as a new technology. It is pretty daring design decision, especially when you put them in context that they were launched 4 years after the first iPhone. But that's exactly what we are looking for in a vintage-inspired pieces, a different expression of the same concept that is specific to an era. What I like about these two pieces is their case geometry. Even though the designs are contemporary with the iPhone, but they retain the vintage vibe, robot-like edges and bevels. The geometry takes us back to the time before something high-tech has to be minimal looking. Instead, the complicated, less platonic shapes with strange corners here and there used to connote high technology. The first one I acquired is the resin one. Nothing's fancy about the material used, just the same old resin that signifies the durability of Casio. The focus is on the lines, corners, and bevels. The resin strap makes the whole thing look monolithic, with aerodynamic style opening features, complementing the complexity of the overall geometry. The only thing that is not in black is the push buttons. In fact, it would be much better to make them all black. The second one is in metallic tone, with a thin stainless steel bracelet. The overall looks is more cohesive, because now the push buttons blend in with the tone of the case and bracelet. It may lose the cool aerodynamic holes of the resin strap, but the overall image is more integrated. The downside of this piece is the case material, which is metallic tone, but not a real metal. At the lugs, the case material directly juxtaposed with stainless steel bracelet, making the cheap material more obvious. Another issue of this lineup is that the power reserve is not that great, leaving it in the drawer for a few days, and you have to kickstart it again in sunlight. If you don't wear it every day, the best place to keep it is by the window. As the world gets more and more advanced in solar technology, the solar panel gets more integrated, smaller in size, and higher in efficiency. The large and obvious solar panels seem to regress from today's minimal and invisible approach. It sets these two pieces apart from other contemporary solar power watches. This model, with their complex geometry, represents another potential for the real stainless steel version. All the facets, with the help of good finishing, would be dancing elegantly with light. Let me know if you also wish Casio remake this series in full metal.